We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Styles McKenzie helping you make those rooms sing. Today's style tip. When it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild, like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Arr, fierce. This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
This is Live Bet Saturday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back here on Live Bet Saturday, I'm Scott Seidenberg on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We are in the second intermission in Winnipeg. The Blues holding on to a 3-2 lead over the Jets. The only goal that was scored in that third period came in the first minute when the Blues started the period on the power play. It's now going to be the Jets' turn as Winnipeg will begin the third period on the power play. Your live betting market right now, the Blues are a minus 210 favorites. Total is at 7.5. Now, I'm not going to sit here and recommend a bet on the Jets at plus 160 only because I'm already invested in them in multiple ways, but I don't hate it. If they do what St. Louis did and they start this period scoring a power play goal, we got an even game, and then Winnipeg shifts to being a pretty sizable favorite in this game, and that's all it will take. Let's continue the hockey conversation. Joining us right now on the Progressive guest line from Covers.com, he is Josh Ingles. Josh, thanks so much for joining us here on Live Bet Saturday. What's your thoughts right now on this Jets-Blues game as we are in the second intermission, and do you kind of see where I'm going here? The Jets starting the period on the power play, maybe there's a chance they even this thing up early.
I feel like you're trying to will your positions into a better situation. That's what it's like. You got the live number. You got them pregame money line. I think this is literally 1 versus 8. We can say that. I know that format doesn't exist in the playoffs, the NHL playoffs anymore, but that's what it was. But this doesn't feel like a 1 versus 8. This was the best team in all of hockey from 4 nations to now. And that's probably one of the best sizable gaps that you can kind of look at and determine what a team is. I mean, it's like a 26-game gap. St. Louis has been absolutely electric. I mean, they're without Dylan Holloway. Doesn't matter. They can get it. They have over 2,500 games, NHL games played, regular season, just in Nick Leddy and Ryan Suter. They have one of the best defenses that people don't really talk about, and you've seen Falk, you've seen Fowler already get on board, and that might be a theme that you kind of see in NHL playoffs because basically it's 2 different types of games. It's a much different game. There's less time and space. You pay for every price. If you're dumping a puck in, you're going to get hammered. And what you see a lot more is pucks from low to high, back to the defense, no farting around. Just get that puck on net because you'll hear it. Just get that thing on net and magic can happen in the playoffs. So I think you'll start to see a little more value on defensive props like assists, and we've already seen a couple of them already.
Exactly, and I talked about this in the last segment when I was giving out my consensus criteria to win a Stanley Cup, and one of the criteria is your team average weight. Like, we know you need to be a physical team. Well, if you look at the teams in the postseason right now, heaviest team is the St. Louis Blues. And looking at the box score, they are out hitting the Jets right now significantly. And that appears to be the difference. 48 hits for the St. Louis Blues compared to 29 for Winnipeg. So obviously the more physical team having their way. But if you try and play a physical game, you might end up in the box. This game is an even game at even strength. But on the power play, so far, the Blues have the advantage with the 2 power play goals. Let's take a look at the next game coming up about a half an hour or so from now. The Avalanche and the Stars from Dallas. So much has been made, Josh, of Dallas's play down the stretch, losing all the games to end the regular season, the injuries, not just on their blue line, but Robertson as well, and Jake Ottinger not exactly playing up to expectations. I understand the love for Colorado. I mean, they're probably the best roster in the entire NHL. That being said, what can Dallas do on home ice to kind of change everyone's opinions tonight?
Dallas has a massive advantage just in terms of the schedule. Colorado hasn't played a hockey game since Sunday. That is insane to me in terms of, I saw a tweet that said, yeah, Colorado finished in this spot. I'm like, they're already finished on Sunday while games were still going to Thursday. So I know the rest is good. A lot of their players played in the Four Nations, but that's just too much. So it could be one of those games, and you saw a lot of it again in the Four Nations stuff where starts off hot, could be sloppy hockey early, and then things tighten down. So like first period over, but full game under 5.5. I know those that they kind of contradict each other, but it's kind of a format that you see, especially if games get sloppy and coaches tighten down things. But looking at this, like if Gabe Landeskog plays, that sets such a massive boost for this team. And if they can get Val Nichushkin to stay on the straight and narrow, he might be the most important person to a team in the playoffs, I think, outside of, I mean, your McDavid's, outside of your McKinnon's, outside your Kucherovs. That's how much he means to this roster. And this was a guy who had 8 goals in 9 games before missing playoffs last year. He is absolutely integral into what he's doing. So I got a lot invested in Val today. I mean, minus 110 for a point, stacking him with his line mate, Jonathan Durand, because they also play at 5 or on the power play 1 together. So there's lots of value there, like at plus 225 or better. I think that's a great price. But what I don't like about Dallas in this spot, I think they can come out and put up goals early. And that's why I'm on the over 5.5. I got the 5.5. I wouldn't play it at 6.5. I mean, this is a blue line in Dallas who this was supposed to be like a number 1 team, top 3 betting favorite to win the cup. But they had been playing absolute shootouts down the stretch, played profitable hockey to the over, and were playing 3+ goals per game and 3+ goals allowed. And not a lot of playoff teams were doing that outside of Washington. But now you got a blue line that's Esa Lindell, Cody Ceci, Thomas Harley, Ilya Lyubushkin, Leon Bichelle, and Petrovic. Like, those are not big names. When you're missing Miro Heiskanen and Nils Lundqvist, I mean, Nils Lundqvist wasn't a great defender, but he was an important person eating up that 16-minute number. But this is a bad blue line that can take advantage of by Nathan McKinnon, by Cale Makar, by good skaters. And, I mean, this could go either way. I like Colorado in the series. I mean, that's not really a hot take in terms of what it is, but Dallas has been there. They get Tyler Seguin back. That's a massive boost. Jason Robertson's out, so that's addition by subtraction. But this is going to be a big game. I like goals on both sides, and I really like that Tyler Seguin line with him and Mason Marchman. Each to get a point. They're going to be playing power play 2, and you can get those guys for plus 250 or better for a point each. So going to be an exciting series. I think Colorado gets better as the series goes along when they knock off that rust.
So I just looked this up in a database that goes back to, I guess, 2008, the 2008 playoffs. In the first round, if you have a rest of 5 days or more, how does your team do? Which is obviously the Avalanche coming off of a long rest right now.
I'd assume poorly.
9-8 straight up.
Okay.
And here's something that you'll like, though. 9-5-3 to the over. So
yeah, I think it starts
profitable
sloppy.
to the over.
So I spent basically the entire year just betting line mate points, right? Like, don't just take one guy to get a point. He's probably going to point with his line mate. If he plays with that guy 5-on-5 in the power play, add them together. The numbers were crazy. Books had to change the numbers all year. Over 100 units on it. It was insane how we did it. But just because of that, it's so fun to see what you do. And from that, I learned when there's more rest, sloppy hockey becomes of it. When teams have more time to play together, that 6 weeks, that 7 weeks, things get tight, systems get tight, benches get bigger, everything gets much tighter. So rest is going to turn into some early scoring, I think, in this game.
I love that. And I love the correlation of playing guys on the same line. Like, just, you know, if you, let's say if you play somebody, an anytime goal scorer, you know, put his line mate as an assist, you know, playing over assist.
No, but you go from like plus 320 for the goal to plus 550. Like, I was spending nights of cashing. I could get one line, like the LA Kings line of Philip Deneau, Trevor Moore, and Warren Fogle, who all correlate PP2 and second line. They're still playing 17, 18 minutes a game.
Yep.
They scored one goal together. That's plus 750 for one goal. It's not an SGP. You're just trying to get it for one occurrence of something happening, and that's what it is. Just some massive things, and no other sport will give us those odds and not change as quickly because not as many people are betting hockey. It's a softer market. Like, I mean, if someone's missing in the NFL, if let's say Jordan Addison's out, obviously the other numbers for their yards, for the receptions are going to go up across his other teammates. In hockey, it doesn't move that much. If someone gets promoted to power play one, their point market might move 10 points.
I love it. Like, I'm looking, there's so many ways to play this. This is great. I love this. You mentioned the Nichushkin Drew, and I think that's probably the best pairing that you're going to find in this game. I'm curious to start. I'm going to start handicapping tomorrow's slate and start picking out some line mates and start jacking up these payouts. So another good edge in this. Sorry
to cut you off, but another good edge in this, especially with road teams. Take the road team second line, because off defensively, one big thing that a lot of people don't know is in hockey, the advantage of home ice is getting the last change.
Yes.
So the away team will put out their forwards, and then you get to decide which defensive pairing you're going to match up against them. So on the road, the top line always has the most difficult matchup. And who doesn't? That second line team. So there's more value on the top line at home and the second line on the road.
Incredible insight, Josh. Appreciate the time and the analysis. Good luck with your bets, and let's go Winnipeg.
Okay. All right. I'm on St. Louis money line. I got Rob Thomas, Conn Smythe 300-1.
Oh, wow.
I got Jordan Binnington 350-1. Conn Smythe. I'm all in. I'm driving the St. Louis wagon. So sorry, not sorry, but I appreciate the time. Have yourself a great Easter weekend and lots more hockey tomorrow.
Love it. There he is, Josh Ingles from Covers.com, joined us on the Progressive guest line. Hey, the NFL Draft is one of the few betting events when research beats reputation. That's right, and the VSiN Pros can help you cash in. Right now, you can get VSiN Pro access through August 1st for just $59 for a full summer of sharp betting insights at half the regular price. Come on. And you're going to get the daily best bet emails with all the insight into the draft props, real-time betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, 24/7 video access on the VSiN Watch app, and full access to vsin.com. From the draft to the derby and beyond, every sport, every edge, one low price. Sign up now at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe. I'm Scott Seidenberg. This is Live Bet Saturday here on VSiN.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Styles McKenzie helping you make those rooms sing. Today's style tip: when it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild, like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Arr, fierce. This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
This is Live Bet Saturday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Scott Seidenberg back here with you. It's Live Bet Saturday here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Always on Twitter at Scott's On Air. And my live bets for this Knicks Pistons second half not looking good. I did take the second half under, and when the Knicks allow 36 points in the third quarter, that's not going to help the second half going under. The Knicks scored 26 points, so I was okay with that. I mean, I would have loved if it was 26-26 in the third quarter, but the Knicks outscored by 10 points in the third by the Pistons. Pistons lead 91-83. Joining us now on the Progressive guest line from Yahoo Sports is Dan Titus. Dan, thanks so much for joining us here on VSiN. And what do you make of this performance from the Knicks and the Pistons right now as we are headed to the fourth quarter with Detroit well in control of this game?
Tell you what, this is why they paid the big bucks for Jalen Brunson. He's clutch player of the year. He's my vote for it. This is where he's going to have to show up. And I'm not actually surprised by the way the Pistons are playing. They won their regular season series 3-1 to the Knicks. So this is a team that's always given them problems this season. And I think we're kind of seeing that unfold in the Garden in game one. But the game's not over yet. Still plenty of time for the Knicks to make the comeback.
Yep, still plenty of time. But to me, it's going to take a heck of a defensive effort, something that we have not seen, or we certainly did not see in that third quarter. Right now, if we're looking at the box score, Karl-Anthony Towns has 22 points for the Knicks. OG Anunoby's got 23. You mentioned Jalen Brunson, he's got 22. Towns only with 16. To me, I think it's just a lack of defense. I gave the stats at the half. The Pistons were shooting 50% from three-point range, and now they're shooting 54.2% from three-point range. So I understand that maybe it'll even out, but to me, it just seems like these are open looks that the Pistons are hitting.
Yeah, I think that's the right call here, and I think that this is more about a war of attrition. And the Pistons don't typically shoot this well from 3-point land, so everyone has their moment in their game, and the shot variance maybe that regresses in the fourth quarter. But shooting 54% from three and 53% from the field is certainly something that's concerning on the Knicks side of things. And the Knicks haven't protected the paint particularly well this season. That's been the flaw, especially for Karl Anthony Towns. So if it's not going right to protecting the rim, and you're also not really holding them down on the 3-point line, that's a recipe for disaster. So I think that the Knicks are going to have to lock down here in the fourth quarter, which I think that they will. It's going to be more of a competitive game. I don't think they're going to hold the lead for too much longer, but this is going to be a good series. I think people that were sleeping on the Pistons have finally figured out that they've arrived and they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, Knicks were minus 400 to win this series. Pretty crazy price, if you ask me. Elsewhere, we had an exciting game one between the Nuggets and the Clippers, where the Clippers they were really popular picks to win this series. So much so that they opened up as dogs. They wound up closing as a slight favorite to win the series. After losing game one in the fashion that they did, 112-110 in overtime, what's your take on the Clippers' chances now to come back and win this series? I know the cliche, right, Dan? A series doesn't begin until a team loses a home game, so I'm still buying in on the Clippers, but what's your confidence level right now?
I'm also buying on the Clippers. I picked them to win this series at the onset, and I mean, honestly, that was a very tough loss. Russell Westbrook hitting that corner three was just a heartbreaking dagger, and that's where I'm expecting some realism to come back in game two. Russell Westbrook played extremely well. The Nuggets surged late, but this, to me, I think that the Clippers have a better matchup. If you look at their total roster depth here, from James Harden having 32 points, 11 assists. That's what you want to see from him, a guy that's pretty much gotten a label as a choke artist in the postseason. And then you got what you expect to get from Kawhi Leonard. And now I'm expecting that we're going to see a little bit more from Ivica Zubac, as well as Norman Powell, a guy that was averaging close to over 20 points per game this season. That only settled for 12 here, struggled with 5 from the 12 from the field. So I'm expecting the Clippers to bounce back. I think Ty Lue's going to make some adjustments, and we're going to see this series tied up 1-1 going back to LA for game 3.
Yep, you can get the Clippers at plus 150 to come back and win this series. What about the Pacers-Bucks? After watching the way that game 1 unfolded, how do you think the rest of the series plays out?
So I picked Bucks in 6, so this one's going to be a bit tricky. But what I did see was some fieriness out of the Bucks bench here, especially Damian Lillard chirping at Tyrese Halliburton towards the end of the game there. That's going to be a huge momentum swing for the Bucks here. Kyle Kuzma gave them absolutely nothing. I mean, if you go back and look at that trade, that could be one of the worst trades that we've seen in recent memory for the performance that he provided. He gave them absolutely nothing. So with Damian Lillard slated to come back in game 2, I think we'll see a more well-rounded Bucks effort. And Giannis, you can't just downplay what he's been doing this entire season. Now that he's playing point forward, just doing everything he can to get the Bucks into the 5th seed. And the Pacers did play an outstanding game. They also shot lights out. They're not going to shoot that well in game 2. So I would actually think this is a really good position to buy back on the Bucks. I think they're going to make this a really competitive series, because if they don't, we could be having some conversations in the offseason about Giannis wanting to force a trade out, because they can't afford 2 early exits in the first round at the hands of the Indiana Pacers. Dan
Titus from Yahoo Sports joining us on the Progressive Guest Line. I'm Scott Seidenberg. It's Live Bet Saturday here on VSiN. Let's take a look at the Lakers and the Timberwolves. Dan, tip off a couple of minutes from now. You have 10, 15 minutes or so, depending if they push the start back or not. Lakers up to a 4.5-point favorite in this game. Where are you leaning on the side, the total, or any props that you're playing in this game?
Yeah, so on this game, this is the series I think is going to be probably one of the most difficult to handicap on top of the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors. So I'm going to go to the props market in this one. I'm liking Dante DiVincenzo over 2.5 3-pointers made. He's been over this in 58% of the games this season, 7 of his last 10, going back to the regular season. And this is really about the matchups. And in going back and watching Dante DiVincenzo execute against the Lakers this year, he's always found a way to relocate on broken plays. He's found his ability to spot up in transition. I think that the Lakers are going to try to shut down Anthony Edwards, a thing that they've done really well this year, hold him to under 20 points per game. So that's going to force the ball to go into the other perimeter players' hands, have more opportunities to shoot three-pointers. Dante DiVincenzo has been averaging 7 3-pointers, 7 3-point attempts this season against the Lakers, and 80% of his field goal attempts have come from beyond the three-point line. So I think that's a really good spot for him. And they're going to need his defense as well, because Mike Conley, he's only like 6 feet tall. The Lakers have a pretty big lineup, so I think he's going to get hunted. So those minutes for Dante DiVincenzo in the regular season were around 26. I think we're going to see an uptick to around 29, and he's going to have the volume to get over 3 3-pointers made in this game.
What do you think about LeBron? We had a guest earlier that said that he was on LeBron assists, just thinking getting his teammates involved here in game one. As a corollary, I kind of lean towards looking at maybe some of the other players to go over, like maybe an Austin Reeves point total to go over, because if LeBron winds up being a facilitator in this game, we could see somebody else do the scoring. We know Luka's going to get his, of course. But what do you think about LeBron's performance? What is a bet that you would make on LeBron here in game one?
LeBron assists, I think, makes a lot of sense. And if you looked at the way that the Lakers played, especially down the stretch, he was deferring more, letting Luka kind of find his rhythm. Luka hasn't shot particularly well since he's joined the Los Angeles Lakers. He's shooting 44%. That's lower than where he was at with Dallas. And so I do like LeBron assists over, but I would also take a look at maybe you could go for Austin Reeves here. And because I think Luka Doncic, as you said, he's going to get his, but Austin Reeves, I think, is the dark horse, because the Timberwolves, while their size is their advantage, there's going to be a big opportunity for Austin Reeves to have the ball in his hands more, playmaking more, and his shot making this season has really improved. I think that Minnesota is going to spend a lot of their time trying to get the ball out of Luka's hands, getting the ball out of LeBron's hands. So by nature of it, kind of similar to Dante DiVincenzo, that's going to leave someone open that's going to have more opportunities to score the ball. And I think that person's going to be Austin Reeves. He's done a good job against the Minnesota Timberwolves this season. And if you're going to look for that third option, lean towards Austin Reeves. I think he's going to have a big game. Now, the Lakers don't really shoot a lot of 3-pointers, but they're operating in ISO situations has been outstanding this year. And Austin Reeves can cook pretty much any third option on that Minnesota Timberwolves team. So look at Austin Reeves over points.
Yeah, 19.5 is his point total. We got about 30 seconds left, Dan. I know you're on Rui Hachimura under his PRA. Give us the reason.
Yeah, I'm actually under his rebounds and assists,
yes.
because he doesn't really do much but score. And if you look at just the recent games, he's going through a knee injury. JJ Redick called him a key to their small ball lineup, but I think he's going to be a guy that's going to be held off the rebounds, and he doesn't do much for playmaking. So 6.5 is too high for me. I'm going under.
All right, Dan, appreciate the time. Enjoy the games. Good luck with your bets, my friend.
You too, Scott. Good seeing you.
There he is, Dan Titus from Yahoo Sports, joining us on the Progressive Guest Line. Want to remind you, VSiN fans, that it's time to plan your Vegas getaway, because Circle Las Vegas owner Derek Stevens is offering you 15% off at 3 incredible properties: Circle Las Vegas, the D Hotel, and the Golden Gate. Whether you're lounging by Circa's stunning rooftop pool or enjoying all the excitement Vegas has to offer, you're going to save big with promo code VSiN15. Book your stay now at CircleLasVegas.com. Use promo code VSiN15. Get 15% off. Your Vegas adventure starts here. The Winnipeg Jets have tied the game. We are live here on Live Bet Saturday.
This is Live Bet Saturday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Scott Seidenberg back here with you. This is Live Bet Saturday here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. And boy, are we live indeed. The Winnipeg Jets have tied the game against the St. Louis Blues. It is 2-2 with a little over 7 minutes left in regulation. And just as I expected, the Jets have flipped to become a significant favorite, minus 150 on the live line, as the Jets have really been playing dominant in this third period. They have all the possession. I'm looking at the TV right now, and they are just sticking in the offensive zone. We'll see if they could maintain this. Jets now minus 145 to win the game over the Blues, as we are with 6:45 to go in the third period. Meanwhile, at Madison Square Garden, the Knicks have stormed all the way back and It has been because of defense. The Knicks have tied the game against the Pistons 98-98 with 7.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Your live line right now, Knicks minus 2.5. Your live total, 229.5. And I don't want to say that I'm like too alive, but let's see. 84. There's been 84 points scored in the second half. We have the under 108.5. That means we can only afford 24 points for the remainder of the game. That's probably not going to happen. But I think it's just wild that the Knicks have really been playing well here and now have a 100-98 lead over the Pistons. I mean, the way that I can realistically cash this second half under is, let's say, like the Pistons only score like 15 points in this entire fourth quarter. And it's a fourth quarter where the Knicks win, 30-15. Is that possible? The Knicks are winning this quarter right now 17-7. Now, I don't think it's going to happen, but stranger things, right? Stranger things indeed. Let me update you on the live line as it changes possession by possession. Knicks are now a 4.5-point favorite. Live total 229.5. So we'll keep monitoring this. Just a little 103.98 as the Knicks have made a three-pointer now. They are minus 5.5 on the live line. Boy, after the Knicks got blown out in the third quarter, not sure many people thought that they would have a chance to cover the original line of 7, but here they are, outscoring the Pistons 20-7. The Pistons haven't gotten anything done here. Campaign drilling another three-pointer. Campaign off the bench for the Knicks, 14 points, 3 of 4 from three-point range. Wow. OG Anunoby's got 23 points. Jalen Brunson with 26. Karl-Anthony Towns with 21 for the Pistons. Tobias Harris has 22. Cade Cunningham just 13 points. Bright lights of Madison Square Garden, maybe too bright for Cade Cunningham. Again, the score right now with 6:21 left in the fourth quarter. Knicks lead the Pistons 103-98. Knicks minus 5.5 on the live line. Total of 230.5. And in the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, game 1 between the Winnipeg Jets and the St. Louis Blues has been back and forth. We are tied at 3 here in the third period with a little over 5 minutes remaining. The Jets are a minus 145 live favorite. As the Jets were a significant favorite to start this game, they go down 1-0. They then score 2 unanswered goals to go up 2-1 before St. Louis scored with 2 minutes or so left to go in the first period. This was a 2-2 game going to the second period. To start the second period, the Blues were on a power play, and they scored a little over a minute into the second period on that power play. And so they took a 3-2 lead. There was no goals scored for the remainder of the second period, and no goals halfway through the third period when the Winnipeg Jets have tied the game 3-3, Jets and Blues from Winnipeg. Your goal scorers in this game, it's all the big names. So you got some goals from Mark Scheifele has scored for the Jets. Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou have scored for the Blues. And so 3-3 is where we are with about 5 minutes to go here in regulation. Meanwhile, the Knicks continue to extend their lead, 105-98 now over the Detroit Pistons. And 6 minutes left in this game. The Knicks are now on the live spread, minus 6.5, minus 130 to the minus 6.5. The Knicks are favored right now to cover the original spread from the game. I mean, that's crazy that they got blown out in the third quarter. They were up by 2 at the half. They got outscored 36-26 in the third quarter. We're down double digits going to the fourth. Or not down double digits, but they were down going into the fourth, and then have outscored the Pistons 22-7 in this fourth quarter. The Pistons have just called a timeout as they can't seem to make a shot here in this fourth quarter. The Garden is rocking right now. In the last 3 minutes, the Knicks have gone on a 15-0 run. What basically has happened is that the Pistons were lights out from three-point range. And we talked about how the variance comes into play and it'll probably cool off. But I didn't expect it to cool off like this, and I also didn't expect the Pistons to just crumble. But they're a young team, and maybe they just don't have the experience needed to come through in a clutch situation once the game tightens up. And so it's all fun and games when you are drilling all your three-pointers and you're shooting 52, 54% from three-point range. When the shots aren't falling, where do you go in the half-court game? Where do you generate that offense from? And so far, the Pistons have not been able to do so. The three-point shooting has regressed. They were shooting 54% from three-point range, now 46.4%. And really the big factor here for the Knicks, scoring-wise, on this 15-0 run has been the three-pointers from Cameron Payne off the bench. So tremendous contributions from Cam Payne off the bench. 105-98, Knicks lead, 6:15 to go. They are minus 7.5 now on the live line with a live total of 231.5. We had a commercial break here in the Winnipeg Jets St. Louis Blues game. Coming back from commercial, there's 4:27 left to go in regulation in the third period. Jets and Blues are tied at 3. Still to come, we have Colorado taking on Dallas, where Colorado was a minus 155 road favorite, with the total pushed up to 6.5. And also later on, the Lakers taking on the Timberwolves in LA. Lakers are a 4.5-point favorite, total of 215.5. In Major League Baseball, let's update the Major League Baseball scoreboard. Tell you what's going on with these late games. The A's have a 2-1 lead over the Brewers. Top of the 7th inning there in Milwaukee. Also, the road team with the lead in Houston as the Padres lead the Astros 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bottom of the 4th inning, the Twins and Braves are all knotted at 2. Now, in this game, I liked the idea of betting the Minnesota Twins, because I honestly don't have faith in what I have seen from Chris Sale to start this year. But I also wanted to back the Twins with Simeon Woods Richardson starting. Well, Minnesota actually used an opener in this game. They started a relief pitcher in Justin Topa, and the Braves scored a run in the bottom of the 1st inning off of Justin Topa. Simeon Woods Richardson came in the 2nd inning. He is now the pitcher of record as he has gone 2 innings, allowing 1 run as well on 3 hits with 2 strikeouts. Chris Sale, meanwhile, 2 runs on 5 hits. He has 8 strikeouts, though. Sale has struck out 8. 2-2 game, Minnesota and Atlanta, bottom of the 4th inning there in Atlanta. All right, we're waiting for, we are back here in action. Knicks now extending their lead 107-98 over the Pistons. I mean, can the Pistons just not score a point for the rest of the game? Wouldn't that be something? That would be amazing. Just continue to go scoreless. Let's see if we can get this, let's see if we can miraculously hit an under in the second half here. Boy, I would feel great if I had the Pistons team total to go under instead, because that was about 54 or 55, I believe it was in the second half. No, because the total was 108 and a half, and the Knicks were favorites, so it was probably like 52 and a half, something like that. But after 36 points in the third quarter for the Pistons, they have only scored 7 points in the fourth quarter. Under 5 minutes remaining now. The Knicks with a 109-98 lead over the Pistons. Detroit has just missed another shot. Karl Anthony Towns just got a rebound. Another basket for the Knicks. 111-98. The Knicks lead Detroit. It is all falling apart here for the Pistons. What's not falling apart is the VSiN Watch app, because right now you can take VSiN with you anywhere, anytime by becoming a VSiN Pro subscriber and stay connected to all of the action wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app. You can get the 24/7 live access to the audio and video streams, replays of your favorite show. You can stream directly to your smart TV. Download the VSiN Watch app today. I'm Scott Seidenberg. This is Live Bet Saturday here on VSiN.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Styles McKenzie helping you make those rooms sing. Today's style tip. When it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild, like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Arr, fierce. This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
This is Live Bet Saturday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
I know this is not for the same team, but Jets, Jets. Listen, as a New York Jets fans, let me have this moment. The Winnipeg Jets have not only broken the tie and taken the 4-3 lead over the St. Louis Blues with a little under 90 seconds remaining in the game. But after the Blues pulled Jordan Binnington, the Jets have added the empty netter. It is a 5-3 lead for the Winnipeg Jets with little under 40 seconds remaining in the third period. And if you happen to bet, imagine this. I didn't bet any goal scorers. I just have the Jets in a multitude of ways. Puck line, money line, the live bet when they were losing, and they're my pick to win the Stanley Cup, by the way, which I've told you guys about that several times. But if you would have parlayed, imagine this, the top four favorites to score a goal in this game: Kyle Connor and Mark Scheifele for the Jets, Jordan Kyrou and Robert Thomas for the Blues. All four of them scored goals. Now that's something. Imagine that. Imagine you took all four of these goal scorers. Wow. And now the message is being sent. With 15 seconds left in the game, here come the fisticuffs. This is why playoff hockey is the best sport out there. And yes, I say sport because playoff hockey is different than regular season hockey. 15 seconds left in the period here. The fights are starting right now between the Blues and the Jets. Jets are up 5-3 over the Blues. I mean, at least the refs are letting one of them go, but this is like a 4-3-man fight. They broke up a couple of other scuffles. They let one of them go here, and wow, what a moment for the Winnipeg Jets fans. What a come-from-behind win. To recap what went on in this game, the Winnipeg Jets closed as a massive favorite, about minus 190. Now, they've been disrespected in the futures market, but in this game, minus 190 to win game one at home. They go down 1-0 early on. They scored 2 unanswered goals to take a 2-1 lead, and then St. Louis scores at the end of the first period. It is 2-2 going to the second period. The Blues start the second period on a power play. They score a goal. It is 3-2 St. Louis. 3-2 St. Louis going into the third period, and the Jets tied the game in the third period with about, let's see how much time was left when they scored that goal. They scored it 13:38. That was early on. They scored that goal halfway through the third period. And then Kyle Connor gets the go-ahead goal on an incredible pass from Mark Scheifele, a one-timer. And then Adam Lowry adds the empty netter. 5-3, Winnipeg over St. Louis. Still 18 seconds left in this game. I mean, they're kicking out players left and right because, everyone's fighting and whatnot, so they're kicking guys out. The refs are trying to figure out who's the penalties on, who's getting the game misconducts, who's getting tossed and whatever. But 18 seconds left. Winnipeg leads St. Louis 5-3. Let's cash this puck line, and let's get a win here for the Jets, moving on up 1-0 in the series as they move to Game 2. Meanwhile, the New York Knicks, there's a little bit of spread drama right now. The Knicks, by the way, went on a 21-0 run over the Pistons in the fourth quarter. They were losing going into the fourth quarter. They dominate the fourth quarter. There's a minute left. The Knicks are now up 120-112. They closed as 7-point favorites in the final seconds here, this will determine the spread. The Knicks have just made a basket. Here we go. 122 to 112. As the Knicks will look to cover as 7-point favorites. They were the biggest favorite of the day here in the NBA. 41 seconds left. They are up 10. They were 7-point favorites. And as far as, my second half under is concerned, I really just needed a miracle. It wasn't going to happen. There has been, let's see. Yep. There has been 114 points to go over in the second period, in the second half. But the Knicks actually cover the second half spread because they were outscored by 10 in the third quarter. And in the fourth quarter, they're up 18 in the fourth quarter. 23 seconds left. Jalen Brunson just got a rebound. And so the Knicks, Malik Beasley with a take foul, so no free throws. Oh, here we go. Another fight right now in St. Louis and Winnipeg. Oh, this is playoff hockey. This is playoff hockey. There's 2 seconds left. This game is not over yet. But it's after the whistle, more punches, more hits. This is what you do. Now, some people don't like it. Maybe they're just not hockey fans. But hockey is a sport where you police yourselves. And at the end of a game, this is a playoff series. At the end of game 1, just sending a message, hey, we're not going anywhere. I like this out of the St. Louis Blues. Show a little fight here, all right? You let this one slip away. You had this entire game, and you let it slip away. Let Winnipeg know you're not going anywhere. That, yeah, they might have come back and won game 1, but hey, we'll see you in game 2, all right? So you throw some punches, some hits, and you just send the message here. 2.4 seconds left. We're just trying to get the face off and get it, just get it out of there. Just end this game. We don't want any funny business. Let's let the Jets cover the puck line, the -1.5. No funny business off this face-off. Again, the refs are just sorting out these penalties left and right. And we do have a final. The Knicks win 123-112 as they cover as 7-point favorites. What a difference it was in the fourth quarter. The Knicks lose the third quarter 36-26. They win the fourth quarter 40-21. Knicks cover the second half line. Second half goes over. Full game goes over. And the Knicks cover the 7-point spread. And we are about to get underway. And we are officially underway here in the Lakers and Timberwolves from LA. Here's the plays we have sweating out for this game. I laid the -4.5 with the Lakers. Took the Lakers -4.5. I did take the under at 216.5. And the under was bet down actually to 215.5. But we did take the Lakers. We laid it with the Lakers. We took the under. I bet LeBron James to go over 6.5 assists. And I bet Austin Reeves to go over 2.5 3-pointers made. So that is what we are sweating out here for the Lakers and the Timberwolves. We have the Lakers on the spread. We have the under on the total. LeBron James over 6.5 assists. Austin Reeves over 2.5 made 3-pointers. As we will watch this game and we will sweat it out together. The Lakers have jumped out to an early 4-0 lead thanks to a three-pointer, a free throw, one free throw made by Luka Doncic. So Luka makes, he goes 1 of 2 from the free throw line, and then Luka makes a three-pointer. So Luka is beating the Timberwolves 4-0 right now. 4-0 Luka over the Timberwolves. And we are about to get underway also on the ice, the Avalanche and the Stars. I did take the advice of Josh Ingles, our guest from Covers, who joined us earlier, and I played a little same-game parlay with the points prop of Valerie Nichushkin to go over 0.5 point and Jonathan Drouin to go over 0.5 point. So that's what we're rooting for in this game. And I like Dallas plus 1.5. I'll be honest with you. I think that I know it's juiced. I know you got to lay the juice here. But I do think that they keep this close. And maybe there's no value in doing it now. You don't want to lay minus 210 or minus 215, but maybe if they go down 1-0, you could take a live bet flyer on them to keep it close. So a lot of negativity around the Dallas Stars, rightfully so, because of everything that they've been dealing with, the way that the injuries that they've had, not just Tamiro Heiskanen on the blue line, but Jason Robertson, one of their best forwards, if not the best forward that they have. They lost all those games down the stretch to end the season. A lot of people negative on the Dallas Stars. I think maybe Dallas has something to prove tonight here. Of course they do. Game 1, playoff series at home. I think they keep it close, but we'll monitor that. We'll do some live betting opportunities. We're also going to update you on the Major League Baseball scoreboard. Twins have the bases loaded with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. We'll see if they can come through with some runs. Chris Sale is now out of the game. Speaking of baseball, ProfitX is offering the best odds on baseball all season long. ProfitX is a peer-to-peer sports exchange available in 40-plus states, the first of its kind in the U.S. That means you're going to make picks against other group of fans rather than against the sports books. And by using an exchange, you can guarantee yourself the best odds. Download ProfitX today. Use code VSIN and and you can earn up to $200 in profit cash over your first month. That's ProfitX code.
And we're out.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Styles McKenzie helping you make those rooms sing. Today's style tip. When it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild, like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Arr, fierce. This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.